We're live. Hi, everybody. Sharon Thornton here with FreeSpirit Fabrics. I'm excited to be here this week. We are here with our Inspired By series. And this week we have Marilyn Foreman with us of Quilt Moments. And I'm very excited personally about this week. Marilyn has some fantastic things to show us. Front and foremost, she's going to be showing us her block of the month that she designed. It's called Morris Medley, and it's all in William Morris. So this week's program is primarily going to be showing William Morris fabrics. FreeSpirit Fabrics has gorgeous, gorgeous fabrics from William Morris. Marilyn happens to be a William Morris fan, which makes it all the more exciting because her enthusiasm for the designs and our fabric designs, but her designs, it all comes together beautifully, and she's done such a great job, and we really just want to share all of this with you this week. So again, this is our Inspired By series. I'm Sharon. If you're interested in anything about FreeSpirit Fabrics, go to our website. It's freespiritfabricsplural.com. And Marilyn and I are going to share some wonderful things with you. This is recorded. You can come back and view it again. Please send us thumbs ups, then send us hearts. Let us know where you're coming from, because we always love to see that. And hopefully at the end, Marilyn and I will have an opportunity to, ask some of the questions. Nancy Jewell will be on for FreeSpirit. She'll be answering questions. And Marilyn's partner, Lisa Amundsen, will be answering on behalf of the Twister sister, which Marilyn will get into afterwards. But Marilyn will get on, and if you have any questions about Quilt Moments, she will answer those questions when this program's over. So very excited about this, Marilyn. I want to turn over to you because everybody wants to see you more than they want to see me. So I may interrupt a little bit, but we just want to share that this is a 12-month block of the month program designed in William Morris fabrics by Marilyn Foreman. It's called Morris Medley, and Marilyn's going to answer an awful lot of questions for you along the way. And please send us questions, and I will be looking at those, and we will answer those questions, but we'll also answer other questions along the way as well. So Marilyn, over to you.
Okay, thanks so much, Sharon, and welcome everybody. Thanks for joining from wherever you are. If it's afternoon, evening, morning, don't really know, could be around the world. So yeah, let us know where you're from. Just a quick intro about me. I don't really think you want to see my face so much. I have lots of quilts to show, but I'm Quilt Moments Patterns and Twister Sisters. So Quilt Moments Patterns, if you're familiar, I started in 2006. I do a lot of 4-patch Kaleidoscope patterns, and I have a lot of block the month patterns and strip friendly and all different kind of things. And then also in 2016 with my friend Lisa Amundsen, we formed Twister Sisters when we purchased the twister tools from Marcia Bergam when she retired. So today I want to show you the quilts, as Sharon mentioned, and I'm going to do a demo of my 4-patch Kaleidoscope process quickly and the twister tool process, so you get a little taste of everything and see lots of quilts. So I'm basically going to reverse the camera now and show you the quilts, okay? Okay, so this is my kitchen, believe it or not. And this is the big 101-inch side of the Morris Medley block of the month, okay? And it is a 12-month block of the month, and shops are going to start offering it for January start. So we're hoping you guys are excited about it and can contact your favorite shops to see if they want to be involved. Many already are, if you search around, but you can see how it has, well, I'll define the 12 blocks in a minute, but it's not necessarily intuitive that they're 12 separate blocks. But I like to create a design that kind of has an all over effect. And I love Morris fabrics. I've actually been familiar with Morris fabrics for over 30 years because I was lucky enough to study at King's College in Cambridge, England. Way back when I was in college. I guess I just revealed my age, didn't I, Sharon?
That's all right.
But I was just enamored with seeing the tapestries. And whenever you watch, like, British shows and you watch all the wallpaper, so much of it is these beautiful Morris designs. So in the quilt, you'll see I use this, they call it the Strawberry Thief, the large print here. I use this for the pieced border. And there's lots of other pieces too, like here's a small strawberry thief. And then I don't know if you want me to get into the actual, what the fabrics are. I think you're going to do that more, Sharon, but this is an Orkley collection SKU that's coming out in November and December. And so is the screen. The rest of them are part of the reorderable collection, which shops have most of them now. But like I said, they'll be complete and ready for you to kit things effective January. So that is the navy colorway I did, and that's what's kind of focused on in the pattern. But I couldn't resist doing another colorway. So I made for the 65-inch size, which you could make in the navy version. I did this version with the aqua strawberry thief because I'm kind of a big aqua teal fan. So a couple of the same SKUs. And then I wanted a pop of color with the aqua and the red. And I really like, this is a print that you can get all the time, this Brer Rabbit with the rabbits and the birds. I just love that fun print. It's just so neat to look at the Morris fabrics and see the intricacies that you don't see unless you look up real close. So that's an aqua colorway. So why don't you share with me and tell me which colorway you prefer, the aqua or the navy? Sorry, or the aqua. Can you tell I'm operating a very little sleep? So just to give you a taste here of what the pattern is going to look like. It's all going to be a pattern package in a bag. But if a shop is doing a block of the month, they might just parse out each month piece for you. So this is the pattern cover showing the navy colorway. And inside it shows the 12 different blocks. So you get a better taste of what the different block breakouts are, because when I showed you the quilt, it was just kind of showing the all over effect. So nothing hard. It's all made out of squares and rectangles. So I do stitch and flip corners. There's no special tools needed except for the large quilt. I would recommend you having a 10.5-inch square to square off blocks at 10.5 inch because its finish is 10, and the small quilt using a 6.5-inch square ruler to finish at 6, but nothing else necessarily is needed. And then here's the back of the pattern showing all those navy SKUs, and shows that the pattern will have black and white inside information too if you end up playing with some other fabrics or make a couple versions of the quilt. And then it also shows the aqua colorway. So that in a nutshell is what's going on with the pattern. Did you want to talk anything more about the fabrics at this point, Sharon?
Sure. I'd just like to show everybody, Marilyn, thank you. You've done a great job showing. So this is, like Marilyn and I have already said, well, welcome everybody for those of you that are tuning in a little bit later. This will be on our Facebook page. We will put this on Instagram and it will go to YouTube. So if you want to watch it and rewatch it, it will be, you can go back and review it. Again, FreeSpirit Fabrics. We have gorgeous William Morris fabrics. This is the Strawberry Thief, because after all, you know, he's stealing all of the strawberries, that bird. And here's a smaller scale version of the same print. I just want to show everybody. We carry these all the time, and we have them in red, navy, and aqua. And Marilyn has shown you the navy blue in the quilt and the aqua in the smaller version. And so I just wanted to show you that we also have the red, although you did show the red, did you not, Marilyn, in that big one as well?
I don't have the red strawberry thief in there.
Oh, okay.
What you mean? Yeah, I have the aqua strawberry thief, but I do have some yardage. I think the same as that you're showing.
Oh,
there.
okay. All right,
yeah,
great.
So these are the 3 different colorways that the large strawberry thief comes in.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, all right. So I have those as well, but since Marilyn's just shown you, and then we also have these beautiful, these are going to be in a lot of the pieces that Marilyn's showing. This is called Marigold, and we have it in this blue. We have it in a gorgeous green. These are all reorderable SKUs that you can get through FreeSpirit. Here's another one that's not the Marigold. It's just a different one. I think this is Willow Bows or something. Can't remember all my names. I really try. Here's another one. They're all gorgeous. So please, if you're not familiar with our SKUs, you know, as a consumer, or if there's a shop owner watching, please go to FreeSpirit Fabrics and take a look. Again, I would like to get back to Marilyn's block of the month. It's a 12 month block of the month program. It's a bolted program that the retailers will be offering to you. They could offer it monthly. They could put it together in 3-month packs. They could do 6-month, whatever it is that your shop is interested in, however she is interested in giving out the program. It's entirely up to the shop owner. So, but it will run over the course of 12 months. We will have a Facebook page devoted to this as well. And the Facebook page will start, I think in December, I think November, December timeframe, we'll open that up, but we will definitely have notification on FreeSpirit's on our page, letting you know. I did want to show everybody this. This is a special quilt label that we've designed specifically for this program. Again, you've got the strawberry thief on there. He's got the strawberry dangling out of his beak. And it says the original Morris & Co., founded by William Morris in 1861. So you could put whatever you want on this label. Can everybody, I hope everybody can see that good. This is a paper example. The actual label will be roughly my printer wasn't very good, but it's going to be about an 8 inches by 4.5 is what I would guesstimate it to be. And we will also be sharing this bag, this FreeSpirit bag. I have a feeling it looks backwards for everybody, but it's a beautiful quilt design on the bag, and the shops that are participating, if they've participated in the swag, they'll be putting the program into this bag and the label with the fabrics, however that they've decided to do it. So Marilyn, it will also come with the pattern that Marilyn has already shown us. And I don't want to keep on talking too much. Oh, I did want to tell you though, Marilyn, where some of the people are tuning in from today.
Oh, that'd be great.
Bertie Kate says she loves William Morris. We've got someone from Michigan, Carmel, Indiana, Huntersville, Alabama, Denver, Colorado, Oscoda, Michigan. I'm going to say a lot of these: North Carolina, California, Orlando,
Wow,
Sweden, Ohio, Ireland, Kansas, Pittsburgh, Australia. So we've got people, South Africa. Okay. We've got people tuning in from all around the world. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks, people.
Yeah. So please, I'd like to get back to Marilyn because I know she's a lot to show us. And I do want to show some William Morris quilt backs whenever we have an opportunity when we're done talking about William Morris.
Okay.
So
sounds
back to you, Marilyn. I want you to continue telling everybody all about your beautiful quilts that you've designed.
Okay, fabulous. So here I am again, but I'm going to show the quilts now. So I thought it would be fun to make some more things with Morris because you can never get enough. This is actually, I know the shading's kind of bad here, but this is my Kensington Kaleidoscope pattern, which I just updated to incorporate the version with the Morris and to have more sizes. This is a throw size, if I can back up enough to show you. And so what I did there is I used that same fabric that's the border of the Morris Medley Block of the Month. I used my 4-patch kaleidoscope process that's real easy, and I'll demo in a second, to just chop up strip sets and make, isn't that fun with the swirling birds? There's the two different kinds of birds.
Yes.
So there's 6-inch finished 4 patches and 4-inch finished 4 patches. And then the rest of it is just a mixture of fat quarters of a variety of the reorderable Morris SKUs. So I was really excited about that. The 4-patch kaleidoscopes is kind of my passion. If you're familiar with me, it might be from that. And I also have a crafty class called Quilted Kaleidoscopes that I think maybe some people have taken and have seen some of my kaleidoscope designs. So that's one of the projects. And then I thought we got to do a twister. So Twister Sisters, me and my friend Lisa, my twist sis. So this is a twister quilt made with the MIDI twister tool, which uses 6.5-inch squares. And again, I'm going to demo in a second this easy process, but I just used a variety of fat quarters, cut them into 6.5-inch squares and some strips for the scrappy border. And when you put it all together, it makes this size quilt with the MIDI, or it would be like a twin or a larger quilt if you use the larger twister tool with 10-inch squares. And so there is a information sheet I we put on the website that shows how to make this exact thing or what fabric to ask your favorite shop to get. But you would also need to use it in conjunction with the Twister planner, which basically does the math and lets you do projects from table runner up to queen size and tells you how many squares, what size grid, and all that. So that's a handy reference. And then we have some fun projects here. Lisa made this Twister pillow is one of our patterns. Lisa created this pattern. So she did a fun one with the Morris print. So she used a small strawberry thief in all these colorways. And the pillow, I'm thinking everything's going to fall if I do it, but the back has the zipper option, which she used, or you could also use just the fold method for it. And then this is the newest Twister Sisters pattern called Twisty Zips. Again, Lisa wrote this one. And so we thought it'd be fun to kind of feature Fussy cut the fabric for the strawberry thief. Can you see I'm a little addicted to that? And then I told Lisa, do whatever you want when you make the itty. And guess what? She loves the strawberry thief too. So we kind of ended up doing what looks pretty identical, but they kind of are a good matching set, right? And then the inside, I use that floral fabric and it has pockets and stuff. So that's pretty slick. And then I have one more project to show you that I did with the Morris. And this is my leading ladies pattern. If I can see this, sorry for the lighting, guys. So this I used, and you have that fabric near you?
Yeah, I have the
big Michael Miss ink, I think it was.
Is it this? I don't know. Can you see
yes,
me?
Yes. So see
yes.
that large print, guys. Well, I actually have a demo in front of me I could show, but I didn't have a bunch of yardage. It's just fun that she shows that. So I used a 3-yard chunk of that and did my cutting process and made really big 4 patches here. See that?
Wow, that's gorgeous.
And then some smaller ones there. And you just never know what you get and how different it looks from the original fabric. And then I use coordinating pure mineral collection again, which is reorderable.
Marilyn, is
sorry,
it this
I
one?
kicked it to the wall.
Oh, that's all right. Marilyn, is it this fabric that you used in the background?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So it's
and then sometimes I usually for star points like the Kensington, you'll see I don't usually go very, much of a print in the points because I want the kaleidoscopes to pop. But I felt like the kaleidoscopes were big enough that this little print would work. And again, like William Morris, he liked to combine prints of different sizes. So I thought it was really fun to do it that way. So that's what I did. So that's my leading ladies pattern. And on my site, I do have a sheet you can get for free that would show how to adjust, you'd have to purchase a pattern, but how to adjust the pattern to make it this way and make a throw size. Whereas the pattern itself includes twin and queen size. And here's a version that I made with Kafe and Philip Jacobs fabric. Help me out here. I think it's called Coleus.
Yes, I think it is.
Right. So I
love that's Coleus.
Yeah.
Yes,
so it's still a summer weight. Haven't quilted that one yet. But I want to, don't be remiss. And of course, these aren't the quilted ones, but all the Morris medley and the quilted things I showed you were quilted by Paige Johnson at the quilting page in Eagan, Minnesota. And Eagan, Minnesota, that's where I am now too.
Oh. And Marilyn, could you just show leading ladies one more time?
Yes.
On the wild, it's just gorgeous. You did a beautiful job on that. I just want.
Sorry, I'm shaking around here for people.
Oh no, you're good. It's good. We're getting to see things up close, which we all love. But that is so beautiful, and see how different they look. Where the one is in Kafe, and then the other one is in the William Morris. I mean, 2 totally different looks, but the same technique.
Yeah.
So very, very pretty. But I just wanted to let the viewers know that this William Morris that Marilyn's showing is our mineral collection, and it's shipped to quilt stores in April of this past year. And these SKUs, we also plan to have these as replenishable SKUs moving forward for FreeSpirit Fabrics. So hopefully, you'll have access to these SKUs into the future as well. I mean, that's really beautiful. I'd like to make one of those for my mother. She would love that.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, very, very nice, Marilyn. Okay, so
that was hot off the press early this morning.
Yes, I know you've been working hard and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so here's my little demo, and that's what I meant where I liked you showing the yardage because I already chopped it all up. So to do that process, just in a nutshell, but it's described in all my patterns that are 4-patch Kaleidoscope patterns. You take the large print, you layer 4 identical repeats, at the repeat intervals. I'm really breezing through this fast. Okay, then you do, you pin it with flathead pins carefully all around the perimeter of the fabric. And then everything's aligned perfectly on top of each other, 4 identical layers. And at that point, you just follow whichever pattern and do the strip sets. So for example, on this one, I had a wide strip set, remember, for the big squares. And then I had a smaller strip set for the ones that have the stars surrounding them. So then once you have those strip sets, it's just as simple as you're going to subcut the strip sets into square sets. Okay, so that you'd have, imagine 4 identical squares like this. And this is me just simply opening one set of 4 matching squares, and I got that look. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a square, but guess what? That means you have 4 options. So I could go, oh, do I want to sew it the way I just showed you? Or do I want to turn it around and go like that and have the big, flower in the center, and so on. There's 4 options. So I'll just show one more. I'll just show one more here.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So yeah, so that's kind of in a nutshell. I know that was really fast, and this shows the smaller one, how you could twist it around. And this, to get a feel, oh, this was another, I just can't resist looking at, Philip Jacobs fabric. I love to chop up. I haven't even made anything with it yet, but I basically buy and I chop up, but I don't get the quilt done yet. I plan to make that into a bell kaleidoscope. So here's a bell kaleidoscope quilt. And my friend Karen pieced this one for me. And so that's bell kaleidoscope. And here I use the Japanese chrysanthemums. I'm not going to say that right. And that, I believe, is a still available fabric as well.
It is. Yep.
So many of their fabrics are timeless that way. So that's kind of in a nutshell my 4-patch Kaleidoscope. Oh, I just want to show you. These are kind of like when I showed the Kensington throw on the wall before with the Morris fabrics. Here's some of the pieces, and then this shows that what if you went really teeny. So if you've got a real large print, you tend to think maybe it looked best in larger 4 patches. But if depending on the amount of detail in the fabric, it could show in little tiny things too. So do you want to take over for a second and show some backs, and then I can switch gears to the twister stuff?
Sure, that sounds great. So thank you, Marilyn. I love that. I love to see, how you've cut all those up, and they're so simple to sew together, which makes it even easier. So get, multiple designs with one design. So that's totally awesome.
Oh, Sharon?
Yes? I
have one last huge one I forgot to show.
Oh, okay. We'll look at that before we move on.
Kaleidoscope. So this was, how could I forget those? This is my king size 105-inch keyboard kaleidoscope, and I used I think it was called Lavinia, perhaps, print, and then a whole bunch of Cape Aboriginal dots.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Some dots. So now that you kind of saw how easy the process is for the 4 patches, this I just used a variety of the sizes.
Wow.
Okay, so now I'm done with Kaleidoscope. Back to you, Sharon.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad we didn't miss that. Thank you. So while Marilyn's setting up for the other things she's going to show us, I just wanted to talk to everybody a little bit about the beautiful quilt backs that we have at FreeSpirit Fabrics in William Morris. So again, Strawberry Thief, that we offer this in navy blue. You can see how gorgeous this is. And I think Marilyn used a Strawberry Thief on the back of her block of the month, which, is fantastic for that. We have it in red, and we have it in a cream, which is gorgeous as well. If you're working on a piece that you just don't want, you want a softer back for. So those are all Strawberry Thief, and this is a Acanthus. Acanthus? Sorry, everybody, but it's a gorgeous leaf. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the color in that. It's just beautiful. And this one, it's so pretty for like fall. And I have some suggestions I want to throw in at the end. Love this one. I think this is one of my favorites. We oftentimes will team this sometimes with Tim Holtz. You know, you could look at these quilt backs for not just, you know, William Morris projects, but certainly any others. And these are new quilt backs that we've just released. And this is called Chrysanthemum Twal. And so you look how gorgeous that blue one is. It's got that light background. And then we have a nice brown and cream background on it as well. And a nice, beautiful red one. So a couple of things that I'd like to say about so those last three that I just showed you, the Twals, those are brand new for us. So, you know, go to your local quilt shop. They're 108-inch, 100% cotton quilt backs. And there's many, many things that you could do with these. Like this one alone, I mean, if you wanted to, you could just, I don't know if I've got it close enough. You could just buy this and make a whole cloth quilt. I mean, for you long armers out there, you could just do some beautiful long arm quilting right into this particular piece with a solid on the back. So you could see all that gorgeous quilting and all that, you know, and highlighting all of that beautiful design. And some of the other ideas that I wanted to share with you about our quilt backs is, you know, like I just said, use a whole cloth quilt. You could certainly make drapes out of any of this. I mean, the scale is, you know, large and would be gorgeous for drapes. You could just line them and put a lighter weight interfacing to get a little bit more weight out of it. You could do boxed or ruffled bed skirts. You could do couch pillows. You could do bed pillows. You could do ready to wear, you know, a dress if you were so inclined, in maybe one that's a little bit smaller scale. But I just wanted, you know, tablecloths, if you have a serger and, you know, you could do that rolled edge, you could get a 108-inch and make tablecloths out of it. And you could also make bags. I mean, there's so much that you could do with this. If you used it as a backing and you had leftover, just remember there's many, many more options and things that you could do. And of course, we have our regular quilting scale size as well, which Marilyn's showing you how she's so beautifully redesigned into so many different options here today, which is great. So Marilyn, I don't want to keep talking. So are you ready for us to come back to you?
I am ready.
So we welcome all of you. Please send us likes, please send us hearts, and send us questions. And while Marilyn is showing us this next project, I'm going to pull up some questions and see if I can get some for when we go to the next little break.
Sounds great. Okay. Well, I was remiss. I did not mention that we wanted to go ahead, Lisa and I, and offer 20% off everything on Twister Sisters site, twistersistersdesigns.com through July 31st using July 20 coupon code. And then I'm also doing the same thing at quiltmoments.com. So again, if you're interested, not required, but it's kind of fun to offer you a little something there. And so talking about twister tools some more. So this is the Twister Fusion quilt. And Lisa created this pattern for Twister Sisters. It's based on the Twister planner that I mentioned before. So you kind of use that in conjunction with this pattern. And she used the MIDI Twister tool. Like I did the Morris quilt over the other side, didn't show you this tool close up before, which uses 6.5-inch squares. And she used a variety of K fabrics and she kind of planned it out for her color arrangement. And she made it actually for when Lori Allison of All About Color that does so much CAFE, she was using it when she was at different shows in her booth. So we really love that version that Lisa made. And then this kind of gives you a sense of the size of the tool. So the Twister tool instructions, all the tools come with instructions to make something. So to make a big quilt, there's instructions in there. This version, I believe Cindy, who works at So Trendy Quilt Shop here in Minnesota, So Trendy, Minnesota, Rachel's quilt shop, made this fun one in CAFE. And so they kind of, she says, called it, supersized it because she added some of the border and then the large floral. I'm not sure what's that one called? I think it's the same as my light purple one too. Maybe people can tell me what's that called.
Which one? That border, the brassica?
Brassica, that's what it is, right. Because this was brassica too.
Yes.
So anyway, so that was fun. And kind of like the hint there on the CAFE is it helps to kind of vary the placement of light and dark. In this case, they use the cream to make it pop against all the colors. And then in Twister Fusion here, it was more melding of the colors and just making sure there was enough balance to make the overall effect. So that was really cool. Then to show tinier pinwheels, the mini twister has instructions to make a runner like this. And you can see this is some K fabrics here. And what's unique about the mini twister is it makes it in such a way that instead of just using plain squares, you can make 4 patches. Oh, excuse me. And then when you cut it out, your pinwheel points will be different colors. So that's just a fun little variety. So this is my little cave area here.
That's nice.
And then this is not necessarily FreeSpirit, but it's Henry Glass, and that's part of the Jobtex family, right?
That's right. We love to see that
so
too.
I thought this was safe. Okay, so this is a combination 4-patch and twister. This is my triple twister. And what I did there is this is a smaller print I used, and I actually made 4 patches first. Like I showed the process before the Kaleidoscope, I made 4 patches first, and I'll show you in a second the actual cutting of twister, but I use a 4-patch, a plain square, a 4-patch, and so forth. And then when you cut it out, it looks like you painstakingly made these funky pinwheel shapes, but you'll see it's just using the square twister tool. So that's triple twister, and my toes showing there. Okay, and then here I'm gonna try to do a little demo. The window is, I know it's kind of bright coming in, but I don't want to close it to turn off all the lights. So here is a project I made. Ooh, is that not showing very well?
No, it is. It looks nice.
Okay. So that's what I did with some of the leftover of the border print from making the large Morris Medley Block of the Month quilt. And on the border, but for this part, I just used, I mean, I kind of followed along with the planner, but you could just make up as you go. And I used 5-inch squares and framed it and went ahead. So here I thought this would be a good way to show a little demo. So what you do, the tool has the instructions that you start by having a grid of squares. See those 9 squares there. And then I bordered it with this aqua fabric. And then all you simply do is you take the tool, in this case, it was a little twister because we were using 5-inch squares, and you lay the tool on the lines on the intersection of the seams and cut around the perimeter. And like magic, it's already cut. Isn't that cool? Okay, so that's your first piece. And then so on across the row. But I just cut a couple to show you that then.
So Marilyn,
yeah,
I have a quick question for you. Yeah, it is like magic that those are cut like that. When you cut that, what size rotary cutter do you use? Like that size that you have sitting right there? Good
question. For the little twister tool and larger tools like this, and this, we do use a 45 millimeter one or larger. If you're using the teenier tools like these, right, couple here that I'll show you more of, we definitely recommend a smaller one. But you do want to be careful. That's a good point too, because when you're cutting around the perimeter, where did I put the tool here? You want to make sure, and sorry about I'm shaking here, that you want to make sure that you don't really cut much beyond the perimeter, because you don't want to cut into the next block section. So here, let me show here.
That's so why I asked Marilyn, because I was thinking if one false move and you're into the next block, right?
Yes.
Do you think that there's more control with the smaller rotary cutter doing this than the large, or?
Yeah, well, in this case, you certainly could use this one with that. I mean, it really is just all personal preference. I think on this one, I'm very comfortable with this size, but I always tell people to practice, don't start with a huge twister project and do a massive grid. Just even simply take one square, frame it, pretend that was framed with the aqua, and make, if you can imagine the 4 cuts, just to make one little pinwheel to get a feel for it, because it's just a little bit different. But you can see how it's simply, so that was the first couple units cut. Then if I just pretend I'm going into the second row here and cut that and that, you'll see now how the pinwheel is formed. So see how that's identical to the first part.
Right. Wow.
So that's really all there is to it. Now there are some leftover squares, but you know, it's a square, so you can use it for another project.
Right.
If you're into teeny stuff,
Exactly.
then you take the itty bitty tool.
Oh my goodness.
Which makes a cute little things like this.
Wow, that's beautiful though.
So isn't that fun? Yeah.
So would you say that that's just as easy to do, Marilyn? It's just that it's a smaller scale? I mean, in terms of technique? Yeah.
Yes, in terms of technique, it is. Some people aren't as wild about the small because, you know, you've got more seams that you're dealing with. But there are a lot of people who like, you know, working more with miniature stuff. And then other people who like to go big, like the big caves quilt size that I showed you, or this one that was on the wall that I had is either the midi or the twister, but of course you could go any size you want. The planner focuses on the midi and the twister because it's more like kind of going runners up to queen. And then because we figure if you're doing the teeny projects, you don't necessarily need so much to know how big it's going to be. It's a smaller projects. But yes, we have a huge line of different patterns. You might be familiar with some of them, and you can just look on the website to see. But yeah, there's 6 tools, lots of different patterns. So lots of different patterns there. And then Quilt Moments, I have some patterns that I did Twister before Twister Sisters. And then Lisa has some cute bag and runner patterns she did with her around the bobbin before we were Twister Sisters. So we're just making a great team because Lisa tends to do more of the home decor and bag table runner projects, and I tend to go bigger. So as a combination, it works really well. So again, here's that twister one. Now that you know how to do it and how simple it is, that was the twister planner version with the Morris fabrics.
Yes, those are gorgeous. You did a beautiful job on that. I love those too.
Yeah, isn't that fun? I feel like maybe I should show the pillow a little bit better. Yeah, and she used a zipper back on that.
Right. No, that's great because even if you didn't want to tackle a whole piece, you could just make a pillow, you know, just to try it out and get your feet wet. Yeah.
Yes. And we have runners and different things like that too, where you can just get a taste for it, but not do an entire grid. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's not hard at all. Just don't like open a window or run a big fan while you're cutting off all the pieces. keep track of it, row by row.
That would be a nightmare.
Yeah. So
like
I think
it never happened. I think it happened to you. That's why you gave us that tip.
yeah. Most things happen to me at some point. Yeah.
Yes.
True. Very true. Very true. Okay. Yeah. So now that I have this Morris room, of course, people are going to want dinner tonight. So I think I'm going to have to give up my Morris room, the kitchen, i.e. the kitchen, right, at some point. But so I think that's most of my demos. I talked pretty fast.
Well, no, I think you did great. You showed us everything that you have. And if the viewers would like to,
if there's any particular questions,
right, either you will come back in and answer, or they go to your website. Is that right? Yep. And they'll find more. So quiltmoments.com.
Quiltmoments.com for the 4-patch Kaleidoscope, and Twister Sisters designs for the twister tools and the patterns.
Right. And you're offering, let me look at that again, 20% off all in stock items. Okay, so both websites, Quilt Moments and Twister Sisters, until the end of July. Well, that's
through July 31st, because people might be watching this after the fact if they didn't get to watch today. But we're just advertising it on today on Inspired By. So,
well, thank you. That's a great treat for everybody that's tuning in.
Those who watch, So anyway, okay.
So, all right. So if you've shown us all the other stuff, so I guess we should probably just give everybody one more view of the beautiful William Morris Block of the Month quilt there.
Yeah. How are we doing on time?
We're doing well. We're about 40 minutes and we still have plenty of time. Yeah. Okay. So I just like to show everybody the Block of the Month one more time here, and then I can scroll through some, see if there's any questions in here. Nancy's doing a great job answering a lot of things. And
and I could show some of the blocks maybe a little bit closer if you want, even though I just showed on the thing. So like here, this is, block 1. So obviously you just do one of those. Block 2 is this log cabiny one here. So you do some of those. Block 3 is this one here. And again, as Sharon mentioned, there's going to be that Facebook page and for the new year. And I'm going to pop in too and answer questions or help as I can and might sew along a little bit too. So that's one of the blocks. So again, so I hope you got to get the feeling that there really isn't anything difficult. But you do want to make sure you have an accurate 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I recommend using a tool like I like Celine Perkins Dry Goods perfect, piecing seam guide to just make sure you got that 1/4 inch before you get going. And like I said, the 6.5 or 10.5 inch square ruler, depending on which size quilt you're doing. And then if you don't want to do the stitch and flip corners, you could also use, the traditional way. I just use a square and draw the diagonal line and flip it. You could use Susan Nelson's folded corner clipper with creative grids. That's another potential thing. But other than that, nothing special. So here's showing a couple some of the blocks are super simple there.
So Marilyn, you had said before, I know that you and I have talked about this, but I don't know that you mentioned it today, that there's no Y seams making this quilt. Is
correct?
Right. So for those of you that sometimes steer away from, a star quilt because of the Y seams, you don't have to do that in this because Marilyn's made it, this is, what would you say, a confident beginner quilt?
Yeah, or a little bit advanced beginner. Yeah, just obviously have sewn some things and are comfortable with your seam allowance and stuff, but especially since shops are going to help you. So many of them have Facebook groups in addition to the one FreeSpirit's going to have. I just think it would be definitely something you could jump in as a challenge and try. Here I was trying to look for, Sharon, where to just show people how I seamed. Now I can't find where
I was pretty impressed with that, I have to say. Marilyn pieced this so perfectly, everybody. I mean, you said like doing wallpaper, matching wallpaper, but I'll tell you, see, you can't even find your name where you matched it.
It was. So I just wanted to show, because again, when you see the fabric, it's not printed, the birds are across the width of fabric. It's not along the length. So it's not like you think that you'd be cutting strips this way long, which was fine. It just meant that when you cut your strip, then you had to piece together the birds or at some point. So I just kind of picked a center section and carefully kind of seamed it that way. But it's really not very hard to do. And of course, I'll describe it in the pattern. So, but it was fun to use those birds in the setting border and then these other birds outside so that when I went to do the throw size, I could still end up having the same width on the outer side for the 65 inch and just made the part with the birds and the strawberries a little thinner. Oh, and I guess I should also mention, I did not miter the corners, but that's again, something that certainly if people are confident they could do. I just felt like I didn't really need to. And again, the way I'm trying to advertise it is as all levels, not necessarily needed. And if you decide, hey, I want it even bigger, if anybody says I want it even bigger, you could add more borders like this navy or add a couple other things before you go on this part outside. That'd be a way to enlarge it. Then of course, just remember that you'll need more backing.
Right, exactly. So I want to make sure that the viewers are aware again that this one that Marilyn's showing in the navy blue version is 101 by 101. So that's a very large quilt. I mean, would you say that comfortably fits a queen or are you pushing king?
It's really queen and pushing king, but I know sometimes when people have king, they want them go even larger. And it all depends on how thick their mattress is and the drop and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So I just like people to have the option of that, but wouldn't it even be pretty just to use some of the Strawberry Thief, like even in another colorway, like the red or something to make like a little, what do you call it, under your mattresses?
The dust ruffle?
Yeah, wouldn't that be real pretty? Or just even like a flat looking ruffle just to show it off. But,
like a box pleat would be nice.
But that's why I definitely wanted to have the 65 inch size because this makes a really nice throw size for snuggling on a sofa or just to have something there because not everybody needs a large quilt. So
exactly. So the viewers, you could make the 101 inch as Marilyn's showing, or the 65 inch that she's showing right now. You could also make it in the navy blue version, or you could make it in the version that Marilyn's showing here. So
right.
just so that everyone's aware, that's going to all be within the pattern that you receive if you're participating in this block of the month. And it is a 12-month block of the month program. Again, it is up to the retailer and how, you know, she decides she wants to distribute the block of the month as she goes. Hopefully we'll be over COVID and people can't get back into the shops. I mean, it would be ideal really to have a monthly, you know, sit and sew to work on, you know, the given month's block, you know, because it's always fun to get together. And since we've all been in lockdown for so long, it'll be awesome to see our friends again. So,
Right.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody, you know, keeps that in mind, you know, and as Marilyn said, you know, confident beginner. And I also think that this quilt is an opportunity for contemporary or modern quilters to dabble if they wanted to in more of a traditional palette. And William Morris, you know, the designs are iconic. FreeSpirit has the access to William Morris's original drawings and original colorations. And so we truly have authentic patterns and colorations and fabrics from the William Morris archive. So I just want to make sure the viewers are aware that that's where we stand out differently from others. And we have gorgeous, gorgeous patterns, as you can see behind me. I mean, these fabrics are just beautiful. Our design team works very, very hard, and they come up with some fabulous collections with this. And then somebody was asking in here, I was looking at the some of the questions they were asking about mineral. This is what the mineral, it's kind of in a fat quarter bundle. I don't know how well you can really see it, but there's a few darker colors and then it, you know, fans out to some lighters. But these are going to be fantastic to coordinate with our replenishable SKUs because they will work so beautifully with one another. Yeah, like that. That's, oh, wait, I'm talking. So Marilyn, you start talking. That quilt is just stunning.
Well, I'm just showing, like, because you were showing mineral, that is mineral SKUs there.
Well, I had to stop talking or they can't see it. So
Oh,
you have to talk. You have to talk
okay.
so they can see it.
I'll babble some more. But yes, that was the mineral, the fat quarter bundle that Sharon showed. That's some of the fabric for
Yes.
the SKUs I use there. So, and we're going to be doing giveaway later too, right?
Yes, we are. We're going to do a giveaway. Wait, I'm just scanning my notes quickly here to see that we've talked about everything. I showed the label. Maybe I should show that again if I could find it again. So here's the label. Again, this is in paper and it's a larger scale, but it will be about 8 by 4.5. I'm looking at some comments. The William Morris fabrics are beautiful. I was not familiar with them. That's Jeannie Wetstein. Well, we're glad you're here today, Jeannie, and you're getting to see these gorgeous fabrics. So we ask you to go to your local quilt shop. If you are interested in these William Morris fabrics, you can go on to freespiritfabrics.com and you can look at all of the fabrics that we have available and offer. And then you can get in touch with your quilt store and ask them, number one, if they carry them, or find a quilt shop that does. There are many quilt shops that carry this, and they are just gorgeous, gorgeous fabrics. I feel very lucky to be able to be around all of this wonderful design and these fabrics, you know, every day through work. So that's awesome. So let me see. We've got, oh, somebody like the Twisted Cave. They're all saying something about aqua in here. I think there might have been a question. Oh, they're talking about the border and aqua.
Okay.
The mineral line, Elaine Chafee is asking, so this is the mineral line, and what about the strawberries? The strawberries are from our replenishable SKU program. So those SKUs we have in our inventory, a shop can order those SKUs whenever they'd like to order those. We got somebody from Alaska. They like the aqua one. Oh, they're all voting on the aqua. That's what it was. You asked the question. You said which one? Okay, now I get it. There's a bunch of aquas on here. Love triple twister pattern. Morris Christine is saying that the Morris medley is at Keepsake Quilting. So, we've got a lot of comments in here. Nancy's been great filling everything in. Love all the possible ideas on the 108 inch. We've got people from Myrtle Beach, New Zealand. I might have already said those before. I don't know if I've scrolled back too far. But anyways, I think that we might be there. So Marilyn, what were the giveaways for today?
Okay, let's see here. One of the giveaways, I believe, was going to be a fat quarter bundle from FreeSpirit Fabrics, and from Twisters, the twister planner and the midi twister tool that I used to make this version. So it would get you started, correct?
Yes.
Do we know?
Well, we're going to send a fat quarter pack. I don't know which fat quarter pack. I'd like to say it's going to be from our replenishable line. We'll see if it's available in the office or if we can get our hands on one. But if not, we will definitely send a fat quarter pack, and we will send fabric to make the binding. I mean, the borders, sorry.
The borders, yep.
Yes,
So like I said, I just used fat quarters, cut them into 6.5 inch squares, and then did a scrappy border. So it worked out really well. And the instruction sheet here that's available on the websites also shows if you use a large twister tool with 10 inch squares, you'd need more like 5/8 yard of the different fabrics. But again, like I said, if you're contacting shops about the block of the month, since these are very similar fabrics, I'm sure a lot of the shops might be interested in offering some of the fabrics for these designs for you as well. So I really want to support the shops and have them be able to do as much as they can with the fabrics. And I don't know about you guys, but when I create something out of yummy fabric, I feel like I want to keep buying the same fabric and make some more coordinating projects. So that's the first giveaway. And I guess the question for that giveaway would maybe be, how about which of the twister patterns that you saw today, like the twister planner, the Twisty zip pouches, the pillow, or I had this triple twister here, the regular twister quilt, twister fusion, or just using the tool itself and maybe what size, just kind of a comment about the tools, which size you'd like or which pattern. If you comment, then FreeSpirits will kind of, do a random pick from there for the twister giveaway.
Yes, that's how we do it. We go in and we look at the comments from our viewers, and we take a random person out of there. I don't handle that. Sarah handles that. We thank Sarah for doing that. And Lindsay's always on our social media, and they work together on this, and they both work really hard. So we appreciate everything they do for us. And we had another question too, right? We're going to do 2 giveaways.
Another giveaway, yep, because we got to do a Quilt Moments 4-patch Kaleidoscope, right? My first love here. So again, this is the information sheet that's available. If you look up Kensington Kaleidoscope Morris version, you can get that information. Of course, you'd use it with a purchased Kensington Kaleidoscope pattern, but there's the 4 sizes in it. So FreeSpirit is generously going to give one lucky winner all the fabrics, I think, right, Sharon, to make this throw size quilt top, which is 57 by 68. And you beautiful. Can see in this case, I wanted to mention, so I use the Strawberry Thief for the centers. And in this case, I don't know, I just didn't necessarily want to use the same fabric on the border, which is fine. And I thought it's always fun to show a bit of the same fabric you used. So I would suggest the leftover fabric, any leftover fabric you have, that you maybe piece it into the backing, with some other fabrics, kind of like, look at Sharon's backdrop behind her. You could just strips of a bunch of different fabrics, but include some of this, and then people will know what was used to get those fun center shapes. And now that you've seen me do that super quick demo, you'll know that it really is really not hard to do. Okay, so
that's again, really beautiful, Marilyn. I love that one. I know you've worked really hard, and that is really a very beautiful. All your pieces are beautiful, but I love that one.
Well, it's kind of my passion. This was the first quilt I did in 2006, and so now I literally sending this to the printer. So if you get it, it'll be hot off the press. And then what did I want to say on that one?
Oh, what's the question?
Oh, what's the question? Yes. So for this Quilt Moments giveaway, I guess, what did you most like that you saw today, Quilt Moments related? So would it be like this Kensington Kaleidoscope? Are you excited about the Morris Medley Block of the Month? Was it one of my other, Kaleidoscope patterns like Belle or Leading Ladies? Or keyboard. So anyway, it's just to have just an answer, some kind of question. Anything that relates to Quilt Moments will get you in for the drawing for that one, right?
Yes, absolutely. And we'd love to know if you are participating in the block of the month. Just let us know you're participating and with who. We'd love to know that as well. So we will have those 2 giveaways, and we will announce it on our page once the winners have been selected. I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. So everybody's commenting now, just like we had a question about the aqua or navy. So now they're commenting.
How much time do they have to comment?
Oh, well, they've got like 3 minutes left, but.
Oh, okay. 3 minutes, people.
Yeah, well, they can keep commenting. That's fine. I mean, we know that everybody will be watching after, as they scroll through their Facebook.
Any more burning questions?
No, I don't see any burning questions. Yeah, we're just, if you're interested, like I said, if you're interested in the block of the month, we ask that you go out to your local quilt shop and ask them about it. See if they're participating in it. Ask them to participate in it. Try to get a group together to participate in it. It's a great program. I don't think anyone next year would be sad to have to go visit the quilt shop, one day, one night a month to work on this project. Right. Very inspiring. It's a great quilt in terms of, it's not too hard. It's definitely achievable. The fabric placement, the design, Marilyn, you did such a gorgeous job with this.
Oh, thanks.
And and for those that are going to make it, it's going to probably be an heirloom. I mean, in your own family at some point. And I did also want to say, because I said one time before, William Morris, I'm going to quote William Morris, have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. So if I lived my life like that, I'd be getting rid of a lot of stuff. But I do agree that it should be beautiful. So anyway, so that's a quote from William Morris. And we thank everybody for tuning in today. We hope you're enjoying the Inspired By series. Marilyn, I know you worked really hard today, so thank you for everything that you've shown us. I mean, you've given us such a glimpse of so many options, and also included CAFE with William Morris. I know that several of our artists that design for FreeSpirit are inspired by William Morris, and I know CAFE has mentioned in the past that he is. I know Tula is. I'm sure many others are. So he's iconic. It's a great collection, and we're always adding to our collection, and we hope that you go and look at it. And I'd also like to encourage you to visit Marilyn's website as well, to go to quiltmoments.com or to go to twistersisters.com, Marilyn, or will there be links on?
Now, if you can see that well here.
twistersistersdesigns.com.
twistersistersdesigns.com and quiltmoments.com.
Yes. So go to either one of those locations too, if you'd like to, order tools or get any more information about Marilyn's patterns. Marilyn, you sell your tools on your website?
Well, yeah, and if I could just mention, I mean, we really promote the quilt shops, but
Right,
if you don't have a way to get them, at your local shop, doesn't carry them or something, you can certainly get the tools from us, but then you'd be buying the pre-cuts that work real well and all the fabric from the quilt shops for sure. Please do that. And again, as the patterns, it's hard for quilt shops to carry the tens of thousands of patterns that are out there. So if you end up getting a pattern from us, that's great. If you just even let your quilt shop know, hey, I saw some of these patterns. Do you want to maybe carry them for your shop? And then you can get them that way, because shops can literally get all of our stuff through the distributors that they shop from. So, and again, as you mentioned, for the block of the month, I think there's some of the shops that are, already doing the block of the month online, posted up on nicely on their websites that are listed today. So even if you Google them to start, I mean, I'm not going to shout out names because I don't want to leave out anybody, but some of them I think advertised today, and a lot of them are interested. Did we mention August 7th is kind of the cutoff for ordering the fabric for quilt shops for the first round.
Right.
So it would be really nice to be able to support your shops and give them the opportunity to get this for you.
Yes, I totally agree. Thank you for saying that, because we do always want to support our local quilt shop. It's been a tough time for everybody with this COVID, and we definitely want to support the local quilt shop. So if you have a local shop, please reach out to them and ask them, if they have any of Marilyn's patterns or tools, or if they would get them. Ask them if they have FreeSpirit fabrics in William Morris or any other FreeSpirit fabrics, because we would love for them to carry all of our lines. But
Yes.
anyways, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Marilyn. I know, again, you were just fantastic today. I appreciate all the work that you've done. We all appreciate the work that you've done.
Oh,
And,
thanks.
no, we do. We all really do. It's great. And you're very, very talented. And you can tell by the way you put things together, you've got a good eye for design. So thank you so much. And thank you to all of the viewers. And Nancy's probably been answering questions, and we're glad that you tune in with us. Be sure to answer the questions that Marilyn had. And I just want to let everybody know that next week for Inspired By, we will be here with Gudrun Urla with GE Designs, and she will be showing us some items or projects that she's working on in Tim Holtz. So that's a whole different genre than William Morris. But please turn in. We would love to have you tune in to see everything that we do with Tim Holtz as well. So thank you so much, Marilyn. Been great.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And so all my teaching gigs have of course gotten canceled, but if I can help anyone in any way by showing stuff, or if you guys do online guilds or whatever, I'm game. So thank you so much, everyone.
That's right. Thanks, Marilyn. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Take care.